Good morning, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap homework session for February the 14th, 2014. For those that are visiting us from Twitter or watching on YouTube, Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. We run a private chat room that's been around for over 4 years. If you're interested in checking us out, send me a contact request. You'll need a Skype account, and you can send me a request to Doug_McKay. I am the founder and head moderator, and I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Each day we come together, talk about the markets in the chat room, and each morning we come together and do our morning live homework session where we look at the market, take a look at the macro to the micro, and pick our trade levels and our targets for the day. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we do start with a very simple routine of going through key numbers, then through the trends in the different time frames, macro to micro, and then we get into a little bit more in-depth chart analysis. Before we start, let's get the legals out. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures, any instrument involves risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan, do your own due diligence. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers. And obviously, I think everybody now has to be thinking in terms of, are we going to go out and make a new high and equalize these two numbers? We've got the 1845.75, which is the year high, and we've got the all-time high, which was also December's high at 1846.50. I'm pretty convinced that we're going to have the conviction to make a run for it. There are a couple levels that I'll be watching just above us, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. Of course, the key number that you got to be watching right now is that year open at 1837.75. Of course, as long as we stay below it, we're in a bear year, and our high is in. But I think we're going to go challenge that 1837, get ourselves into a bullish position, and go take a run for new highs. You can see that the month high continues to increase. In fact, we just made a new high overnight at 1827.50. Our month low way down there at 1732. I think that's nothing we have to worry about right now. Yesterday, after making a huge move up, I was looking for more of a rotational day and a bit of consolidation. And what do? They go and make a run for it. And, Mike said to me yesterday morning, very astute, that Thursdays have a tendency to fill those gaps, and we've definitely filled that big gap and then some. So yesterday in the Globex, we opened up 1816.75. That was our high. We had a low at 1802.25, and then we opened outside of range, outside of value at 1803.25. We had an open drive. We really only one ticked the open. Our RTH low was 1803, I believe. Was it 03 or was it 03? Yeah, it was 03. And just took off with an open drive. Definitely a trend day, so there was no opening swing. Our initial balance high, 1816.25. Our initial balance low, 1803. Initial balance is the first hour high and low. And we watch this to determine what type of a day type is. And if you aren't familiar with volume profile, I would highly recommend that you go to www.futurestrader71.com, and you can pick up a lot of the language, the acronyms, and information about volume profile. We had a initial balance range of 13.25 points. You can see that other than that one tick lower on the open, we're trending up in the daily numbers, and we had a VPOC shift up to 1825.75. So value is being accepted higher, and that's important, and that's why I think that we are going to go make a run for a new high. I don't know if it's going to be, today or next week, but I think as we accept this value higher, that we're eventually going to go equalize those two highs between the 1845.75 and 1846.50. Our 20-day ATRs continues to expand out. We're just over 18 and a quarter on the RTH, just under 24 on the full session, and just under 14 and a half. And we haven't had this size of a range, for a while. So this is telling me that we could get some serious extension here, and one of the reasons why I'm looking at going up and equalizing and making a new high. Value areas were higher. We had a value area high yesterday, 1826.75. Value area low at 1814.75 for a 12-point range on the value area. And then we broke the IB to the high side a little bit late in the secondary pocket, just near that 10 o'clock Central Time. Taking a look at the daily report. Full session high and low so far, 1827.50 in the Globex, 1816 low. So our ATR, 20-day ATR targets for the full session, 1839.75 and 1803.75. So, this is just so far. Obviously, if we get some extension, we'll expand that out, and obviously we'll bring in the RTH numbers after the fact when we get into that session. The news for the day, we had import and Canadian manufacturing sales at 7:30 Central. We've got capacity utilization in about 20 minutes, and then we've got the big one for the day is University of Michigan consumer sentiment. And remember that some subscribers get that early, so just be careful on the open today, especially the fact that we're going to open up in range, and we're going to open in the range of a trend day, and we'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Let's go over to the trend. Obviously, the monthly, no change. This trend is very much intact, came down, tested the 9 EMA, and bounced off of it, getting into the upper distribution of the prior 2 months and above November's high. We've got good slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA, so the trend is very much intact on the macro level. Going to the weekly, same thing. We came down, we saw some weakness, they bounced off, and we're off to the races, and we're starting to get slope and separation again on the weekly, so the trend is very much intact there. On the daily, we've got a naked cross down here at 1794. We've created a technical gap here on the daily. So today I am looking for some consolidation. It's going to be light volume. We've got President's Day and the U.S. and Family Day in Canada. So I think people are going to leave the market early, and we have to look at a possible holiday drift this afternoon on low volume. But we do have some repair to do below us, and a little bit of a tech gap, so we'll probably come down. I don't think we're going to come down and test the 1794 right away, but it is something to look for, and if we get below 1800, look for that move down to that 94 and a half area. Taking a look at the geometric chart, you can see that we're breaking out and trying to break out of the downward sloping fork that we are in. We've come up and broke inside of the long-term fork that we've been watching, and we're now in the upper distribution of this new fork that I added earlier this week. A move to test the upper line of that fork will bring us up into that 1842 area, which is CHVN, and obviously a test of that year high up at 1845.75. But I think we're going to get some chop around here. We do have an energy point that I'm watching for that is due in around the 25th of this month. And that's sitting right in around that 1816 area. In fact, we have a naked cross on the 5-minute at 1816.50. So pretty interesting energy point there. Let's go over, take a look at the micro intraday trend, see where we are coming into this market this morning. On the 4-hour, you can see we had some weakness. We came down and tested that 9 EMA, closed this technical gap right here. We've launched up, created the technical gap above us, came down, tested the 9 EMA, bounced off of it. We've got slope, we've got separation. The trend going into the RTH session on the 4-hour is definitely to the upside. And then on the 30-minute, we've got a little bit of weakness coming in. We've just broken below the 9 EMA, but the trend itself is still intact. We had this technical gap that we closed out, and we'll see if we bounce off of it now and continue the trend up. But the trend on the 30-minute is still intact. Obviously, on the 5-minute, it's going to be a little bit different story, where we've broken below the 9 and the 20 and are below the 9, coming up to test it from below, and not really a trend. We're going sideways and consolidating in the last few hours of the Globex session, so really no trend on the 5-minute. Let's jump right over to the macro view on the composite. And we talked about this this balance zone that we had, this micro composite that went through to December 23rd through, Tess, can I get another tea, please? We've come up here and we're back inside of this balance zone. The value area low here, 1824. 70, is it 2475 or 2450? Sorry. It's 1824.75. So we're just below it. We're trying to break back in it. We tried to get in and hold yesterday. We couldn't. We went up and hit that 27 and then fell off. And then overnight we went up and tested again at the 27.5 and fell off of it again. But we're right there. We're trying to break back into value. If they break into value and they accept that value today, the main target that you want to be looking at today is a rotation back up into the microcomposite VPOC, or the volume point of control of this balance area, and the most accepted price in this distribution zone at 1832.25. To me, this area here at 23.25, it is a CLVN. It's really not a key line for me right now. The one that I'll be watching for is this 18.50. Remember, we're watching that 18.50 when we're in this distribution zone. I think this becomes important. Below 18.50, look for that rotation back down to close that naked cross down at 18.50, and come down and see if we can pick up some buyers down at the microcomposite VPOC for this 3-day microcomposite at 1814.50. And then the big number below us is still this 1806 area. This 1806, 1807, it keeps bouncing around a bit, but it is the range high at 1806.75 of this larger microcomposite balance area over here. And if we get below that, then you've got a couple key areas: 98.25, 91.75, and the big number below us, which is this, it's really 81.50, but the last time we came and accepted balance, it was down here at 79.50. But I'm really watching this 81.50 because that's the microcomposite volume, microcomposite VPOC for the distribution that we broke out of. So let's go take a look at our overnight. Definitely a trend day, a little bit of a P shape. We stole the VPOC into the close up at that 1825.75 yesterday. We did go up and make a new high at 1827.50. So our overnight high is 1827.50, 2 ticks above yesterday's RTH range high, and 3 ticks, 1826.75, so 3 ticks above yesterday's VPOC. We've got a naked close here at 1824.25. I anticipate that we are going to come down and test that. And you can see, well, let me put this in first. Let me finish this. 1816 is our overnight low. And overnight VPOC is at 1824. So we do have this 1823 and a quarter CLVN. It's also the the high from the 12th, and we also have it as a LVN. Even though that on trend days you really don't pay as much attention to the LVNs because you get a lot of them, and you really don't have any balance or distribution zones. But it is a CLVN. It is the swing low from the closing swing low, which was down at 23. So it's going to be an area that I'd be looking to do business at right here, and close this gap, come down and test the CLVN and test the closing swing low and see if we hold. If we break below it, the high volume node in this distribution below is right here at the 1820, and you've got the CHVN here at 1820.75. But this area of the composite is pretty blunt. It's got a lot of undetermined fair value. You've got 25.75, you've got 22.75, you've got 20.75, and you've got this 1814.75 area. So it's going to get choppy in here, and you got it. And there's really not a lot you can lean against down here. I mean, the key area that I'd be watching is the midpoint from the trend day and the value area low. So this is going to be an area that I'd be looking for responsive buyers to step in and hold after they come down and take out this overnight low. That's only if we get below this 23 and we get into this second distribution down here that I'd be looking to to take out this overnight low. And then if we break below that, then we've got that 1812 area, which was the range high, the range low from 2 days ago on the RTH, and this LVN from yesterday. So you've got the CLVN, you've got the range low from 2 days ago, and then you've got the LVN. And we've got some repair to do down here as well. So this would be my primary target below, is to come down and test this 1812. And possibly find some buyers down here. Of course, yesterday we were talking about that 1802.50 and these two naked crosses down here. We didn't quite get down to the 1802.50. We got down to 1803. So 1803 would be an area between 1803 and 1802.50 that I'd be looking to do business as well. And if we break out there, then these targets that I talked about below will come into play. I mean, you've got the two naked crosses at 1800 and a quarter and 1850 with the centennial number, but the big target just below that is at that 1798, and then of course we've got that 1794.75. I'm not anticipating this would be a secondary or a third hypothesis for us to come down that far today, especially with the light volume on the holiday. My main hypothesis is to hold above this 12 area and maybe chop around in here. I anticipate taking out the naked close and testing this 23 on the open. If we do break below that, look for the rotation down towards that 1814, 1813 area and a test of this 1812 LVN and CLVN. But I'm anticipating that if we could hold this 23 and a quarter area, that we go take out the naked VPOC, break outside of value and break outside of range, take out the overnight high and the target just above us, and where I'd be looking for possible resistance to come in and possible sellers, responsive sellers to step in, is up here at this 1828.25. So that will be an area that I will be looking to do business. And of course, if we break above that, the major target above is this 1832.25 microcomposite VPOC. So that is my main target above us. And then the other side balance there is 1834. And then the next big number above us, you've got this 3625. But, oh, come on. But the big target below is up here at this naked gap at 39 and the naked VPOC at 39.25, and that's going to be my extended target for the day. If it'll let me draw it, come. Gotta make a new button for that. Okay, and so that's my levels, and of course if we do, get into a holiday drift, I'm not anticipating it's going to happen. Remember, your major area above here at the 1845, 75 year high, 1846 naked close, and then the all-time high at 1846.50. So let's take a look at what that looks like on the Keltner channel. Our center line sitting right now at 1822, which is right below that area that I'm talking about, which is the CLVN at 23.25. So a test of the center line will take us down to test that and possibly break it, and then a break below it will take us down into this 1816 and take out the overnight low and possibly test the midpoint from yesterday. If we hold the center line, you've got to move up to that 1828 area, which is the immediate target and possible resistance just outside of range and just outside of value. So that's what I'm looking at in the ES. Going over to gold, well, I've been harping on this for a couple months now, is that we had this, major bottoming pattern in gold, descending, broadening wedge. We came up and we broke above it. We held, and we were looking for a move up to that 1315 level. Let's just bring up the composite. You can see there was our target, and we had gone and we've hit that target in around that 1315 up to the 1317 area. Actually came right up to test the other side of balance around it at 1319.70 and come back down. I'm looking for consolidation in this area. We've got three areas to look at: 1315, 1317, and 1309. With the other side of balance on the low side being 1304.40, and on the upside at 1337.25. And now that we're up here, you can see when we were in this area before, we chopped around there. This is kind of a blunt area on the composite, so I'm anticipating some chop in this area. Probably even come back down at some point in time in the next couple of days to test the other side of balance from the upside, and possibly even come down and try to hold above the 1300 level. So looking for chop around here. Just be careful in gold today. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Howard, do you have anything for us this morning?
Sure, I'll give it a shot. All right, so we'll take a quick peek at the daily chart. And as I had discussed earlier in the week and last week, from our high we had a pretty strong push lower, but the pattern looked corrective in terms of wave counts, and we came to a .382 retracement of the move up beginning in June of 2013. So that that became a support area, and from that area we haven't looked back. We've had a very strong push higher, so that reinforces the wave structure of this being corrective, even though it was a pretty strong correction. The structure was corrective. So we have our 0.786 retracement level here at 1822. So we've been testing above it a little bit, still hanging in that area, so that becomes a key resistance area that if we are going to resume a move lower, we should not exceed this area by very much. And if we do, then that adds another element of confirmation to the corrective pattern, and we'd be looking to continue on to make a new all-time high at 1846.50 is where it is currently. So let's look at market breadth. So we can see that the market breadth has strengthened. We're now above the break-even level of 50%, which is what this line is. The middle graph is the advanced declines on a 3-day average, or a 10-day average basis. The lower graph is up volume versus down volume on a 10-day average basis. Cyan is the New York Stock Exchange. The red is NASDAQ. So right now we have in both indicators we are above the break-even level. So we've hit a temporary high here. So we still have a higher high back here, which was at our all-time high, but we had the actual top back here on October 22nd. So since then, these indicators showed dwindling market leadership, even though the market was heading higher. So time will tell if we put our low in here and that we're going to continue higher onto new all-time highs and take out this high put in on October 22nd. Let's look at the sectors. So during this last run in price, we're getting broad participation among all the sectors. With yesterday's update, looks like pretty much all the sectors participated in it. Utilities is leading the pack, followed closely by healthcare, and bringing up the rear is the retail sector, which had been the strongest sector most of last year. So that's what I've got for this morning. I'll turn it back over to you, Doug.
Okay, that's going to complete our morning homework session for Valentine's Day. Everybody have a happy Valentine's Day, and as always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.